Hey guys, it's Carl with NOLA Buys Houses, and I wanted to check in. We're just leaving a property that we had to come over and walk through and do an evaluation on. The property is, it's an inherited property. The owner's passed, and the heirs are trying to figure out what to do with it, but it went to tax sale. In other words, they did not pay the taxes for a few years ago, and it went to tax sale, and their redemption period is up in December. I wanted to shoot this quick video because right now it's tax sale time in the city of New Orleans, so they're putting all the properties with delinquent taxes up for tax sale. And if this is you, then it's something you definitely need to be aware of and pay attention to, because if it goes too far beyond the time the taxes are sold, it can be a serious problem. So when your property is sold at tax sale, or your taxes are sold at a tax sale, a lot of people think that means you automatically lose your property. That's not the case. You don't automatically lose your property, but at that point you have 36 months or 3 years to redeem the tax sale. If your property is deemed blighted, in other words, if you have a code enforcement lien on your property at the time that it is sold at tax sale, then you only have 18 months. So that's something to pay attention to as well. But if you, in normal circumstances, you have 3 years to redeem your taxes through the city. No questions asked. You just go to the city, you ask for redemption, they give you a calculation, you pay it, boom, everything's paid. They pay the tax sale purchaser. He or she are gone. They're out of the way. If it goes back past the 3-year redemption period, then at that point, you have to get the payoff, the redemption payoff, directly from the tax sale purchaser. And most of the tax sale purchasers out there are aggressive. They're looking to eventually acquire the property, which they can't do until the redemption period ends. But once it ends, they can file a suit and take possession of your property. In other words, legally own your property once they get a judgment of possession. So it's definitely something to pay attention to. It's not something to forget about or just kick the can down the road, because before you know it, time's ticking up. Like this property we just left, their redemption period, their 3 years ends December 7th. There's some disagreement in the family as far as what to do. Some people want to try to keep it in the family. Some people want to sell it. But the fact is nobody really has the money to come up with to A, pay the taxes, and B, buy all the other heirs out. So, but they need to do something before December 7th, because that's the drop dead date. Once it goes past that, they got to try to deal with the tax sale purchaser directly. They may cooperate, they may be cooperative, and they may not. I find most of them are not cooperative, because again, most of them are doing this because they want to eventually try to acquire the property, not earn the little bit of interest on their money. So, there are still ways to deal with tax sale purchasers if it's gone beyond the redemption period, the end of the redemption period, but it's legal ramifications. You got to file lawsuits and deal with that. We've dealt with it all. As I always say, we've seen it, we've dealt with it, we know how to handle it. If you got an issue with your taxes or tax sales or anything like that, give us a call. Head to the website, 264-1407, that's 504. We're here in the 504 in New Orleans. Website, www.nolabuyshouses.com, and fill out a form and we'll talk.